Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys, to Mindset Monday. Usually, if you're watching this early, you're probably watching the replay. So just hang in there or scroll to the part that you want to scroll to so you can start listening. But as usual, I'm going to give you guys a moment to come on in. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We are here today. So, guys, just come on in the room. Like I said, I'm going to give you a chance to come on in, say hey. As you come in, make sure you say hey to me in the comments. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you guys, and I miss you. 1000% miss you. I wish that that I could have come to you before, but COVID. So, but I'm here now, so I'm happy to see you guys. Hey, Mom. Look at you joining in. Guys, as you come on in the room, just like my mom did, make sure you say hi to me in the comments because the platform that I use, I can't necessarily see you when you pop in. So make sure you say hey to me. Share. We are going to be talking about accountability tonight. And I told you guys, I'm really authentic when it comes to creating the message or what Mindset Monday is going to be about. I'm just like, okay, God, whatever you have for me, lay it on me, and that's what I'm going to give you. So go ahead, come on in. I usually give you guys a few minutes to come on in, say hey, tell me how y'all last 2 weeks been, because like I said, I miss you, haven't had the opportunity to see you. So yes, please come on in. I'm over here sharing myself too, so you see me. You see me over here. So yes, so I'm sharing. But like I said, make sure you come on in, say hey to me, share the video, like the video, all that good jazz. I can't wait to talk accountability with you tonight. So that's what we are talking about. And look, it's the perfect time too, because oh my gosh, we're going to talk about Keith Lee. If you don't know who that is, I'm going to tell you. Hey, Jay. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for saying hello. Come on in, guys. We're going to get started pretty soon. Like I said, I just want to make sure I give people the time to come on in, guys. I usually wait a few minutes to give you time to come in. I'm also coming to you guys in a new space today. Listen, I think I kind of like this vibe. I do. I got some good lighting here. Y'all see me? I got some nice lighting. I'm comfortable. Good. We're good. But yeah, guys, come on in. How was your day? It's Monday. Happy Monday. See? Thanks, Jay. I thought so too. Listen, I ran all over this house trying to figure out, where do I want to set up today? Where do I want to be? Because my office is not it. Not right now. Oh, goodness. Okay, Mom. She is watching me and the Lions. Woohoo. I got Jay screaming, thank God it's Monday. Channeling your inner ET. I know I love a good Monday. I love Mondays. Love. Love a good Monday, y'all. Because Monday is just so fresh. It's the start of the week. Technically, Sunday is the start, but Monday is the day we start getting busy and doing all the things. But like for real, Mondays, I absolutely love them. They're a fresh start to the week. I love fresh starts. Like, I just do what I got to do. I love a good Monday. So, yes. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and get started. So what I want to do is I'm going to introduce myself. We're streaming on a new platform today. So I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to introduce myself again, let you guys know a little bit about me. So today we are streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Listen, we are on all the platforms for Mindset Monday, okay? So if you don't know me, my name is Rashia Nicole. I specialize in helping people with self-esteem. So I push women and girls to greatness. That's my my target audience. That's who I love. That's who God put me here to help. Nothing against the men, but I absolutely love helping women. I love helping teens. I love helping girls. That's what I do. I'm also a motivational speaker. I'm an author. I'm a writer. I'm a corporate trainer. So among the many hats that I wear, I am also your host for Mindset Monday. I absolutely 1000% believe in pure happiness. I believe in people being happy and just doing what makes you feel good and being unapologetically you while you do it. So that is who I'm about. It is at my core. It's what I live, it's what I breathe, and it's just truly what I enjoy. So I love teaching other people how to do that too. I come to you guys every Monday and we do a Mindset Monday. And again, if you just joining me, the reason that I love Mondays is because I love fresh starts. Monday is just that day of the week that everybody likes to coin and dread, like, oh, it's Monday. But when you have that mindset and you think like, oh, it's Monday, guess what? That's exactly what it's going to be, a really sucky, boring, stressful Monday. But I like to take that idea, flip it on its head, and present Monday to you as the gift that it is. It is another day that you've been given. It's another opportunity to get it right. It's the fresh start to something that could be absolutely amazing. So this is why I love to come to you guys on a Monday to give you some good mindset so we can level set for the entire week. So when you walk away closing out this Monday, it is not the same way that you started it, right? So I love Mondays. It's what I do. It's what I live for. So that is me in a nutshell. And I see Jay and my mom. I see you guys giving me all the compliments. I love you guys. So yes, today, Mindset Monday, we are talking about accountability. So if you saw the flyer that I had, it said, what lies do we tell? And that's the first thing I thought about when I thought about accountability. So how is it that you get to the point of not holding yourself accountable? It has to be a lie somewhere. Somebody lying. Whether you lying to yourself, your friends lying to you, somebody is lying somewhere, okay? Because if you're not being held accountable, there's a reason behind it, right? So let me look. I told you I'm in a new space. Let me stop hitting this table. But anyway, so it brings me to something that happened here in Atlanta over the weekend, right? So I am not a TikTok person, okay? I made one video on TikTok that went absolutely viral. I mess with TikTok, but not like that. My close friends and family know that you might catch me on TikTok a little bit. But for the most part, I kind of like jump in, check my viral video, and then I'll jump out. I need to get better at that. But what happened over the weekend, I'm browsing TikTok and I see a food reviewer, and his name is Keith Lee. My husband loves Keith Lee, okay? He watches all of his videos. I know, Jay, I'm just trying to tell you. So my husband watches all his videos. He follows him. Keith Lee is a food reviewer. We're probably around the same age, but I just wasn't a Keith Lee fan or rah-rah fan just because the way he talks is so monotone. It doesn't pull in my attention. So it's not like I don't like his reviews. It's just hard for me to listen to Keith Lee because of his monotone voice. So I never really listened to him. But he stopped in Atlanta over the week and he started doing food reviews. So what he does, because he has over 14 million followers on TikTok, people know who this man is. So what he does is he goes into restaurants, or he'll send his family into restaurants, order food. They bring it back to him. He reviews the food, usually sitting in the car or at home or wherever he may be. He'll review the food and he'll rate it 1 through 10, right? So when he came here to Atlanta, it has been, well, I live here, so I know that the food scene can be kind of strange. If I can't make a reservation, I usually don't go. That's just what it is. That is my rule of thumb for eating in Atlanta, okay? But so Keith Lee came here. He went to a restaurant. He got the runaround. And just to not drag out the story, he basically tried to go to a restaurant. He will normally order the food over the phone, or again, have his family go in because people recognize him for having over 14 million followers. So he tried to order food from this establishment, couldn't order the food, tried to order it on DoorDash. DoorDash said that they closed at 4 o'clock, but he's literally looking at the restaurant and they are open. They would not allow for carry out orders. They say you can only do carry out on DoorDash. But DoorDash is closed. It says that the restaurant is closed, but it's actually open because he's physically there looking at it. He sends one of his family members in to see if they can maybe try to place an order. They couldn't place the order because the staff told them that they were closed for deep cleaning. Now, imagine walking in a restaurant. The doors are literally wide open. It's still 80 degrees here in Atlanta. So the doors are wide open, breeze coming through. They're like, we closed. But there's people walking through still picking up their orders and food. So he looking like, make it make sense. Anyway, so his family comes back. They tell him what happened. He just couldn't believe it. So he had to go into the store himself to see what happened. Well, when he walks into the store, they recognize him. And then they're like, oh, wait. Let's try to make you, we'll cook for you. We'll cook for you. He's like, no, I'm okay. Now, the reason that he did it was not to be shady. Keith Lee is definitely, he wants to be treated like any other customer is treated. He doesn't want you to treat him special because he has 14 million followers or because he's a lightweight celebrity. He does not want that type of recognition. Okay. So he told them, I'm saying, if you close and if these are your rules, then hey, you closed, right? So his review, when he went on TikTok to do a review, he let people know like, hey, I went to this restaurant. He gave his full experience. He told what happened. So he couldn't rate the restaurant, but he did share his customer service experience. In sharing this customer service experience, the owners of the restaurant, of course they are, of course they heard about what happened. So they made a response to his video. And in their response, they kind of shaded him by saying like, well, who is Keith Lee? And we're like, okay, you know who Keith Lee is because when he walked in, you tried to offer him food, okay? So they shaded him by saying like, who is Keith Lee? So the customer service girl, the corporate trainer in me is literally screaming because I know that this was basically a PR nightmare. All right. Keith Lee is very much so beloved. He is like, he blesses everybody he sees. He literally says, God bless you. God is amazing. Like he's a really, really good hearted person. So this is how he has 14 million followers on TikTok. People absolutely love him. And so to have the restaurant kind of do them dirty and then kind of double down on their dirt by not owning their mistake was a huge blow up over the weekend. With this blow up over the weekend, this restaurant received 1-star reviews on Google, and I'm not even saying the name of the restaurant because I don't even want to give them any clout, but they gave them 1-star reviews on Google. They blew up their TikTok, Instagram, Facebook pages. They had to turn off their comments because everybody was like, hey, you literally just blocked your blessing because this man was coming in to review your restaurant. The Keith Lee effect is real. When Keith Lee comes in to review a restaurant and when he gives his stamp of approval, it literally changes the life of that business owner because they will get so much business just because Keith Lee gave a stamp of approval. So people were saying like, yo, you blocked your blessing because you couldn't even be humble enough to own your mistake. So that made me think about just us and how many times we really do block our blessings because we have lack of accountability. So it made me look at it directly because I was looking at it from a business standpoint, like, man, look at all the ramifications that can come from not holding yourself accountable in a situation where you know you need to, or where you might miss it, but you absolutely need to. So this business is it's literally going to suffer from a lack of customers, and even people who have never, ever laid eyes on this business. They've never been to Atlanta. They know this business name now, and they know how they treated one of their supposed to be good customers. Period. All customers, they're there because they want to partake in your product, and you're treating them like crap. So people all over the world, because Keith Lee does have followers like all the way as far as Africa, all over the world now know how this business owner operates. So when you think about that, like that's a huge blow. That is a huge blow. So we can see this from a business standpoint. But when we look at this from a life standpoint, when we don't take accountability, how far can that go? How far can that reach? How far can that really dig down into our lives and really turn some things upside down? Or and let's talk about what accountability is and what it isn't too, because a lot of times people think accountability makes you look soft. So for instance, you have a disagreement with someone and then they just refuse to apologize or they refuse to admit fault. But instead they kind of want to dance around it and just kind of move past it like nothing happened. But the relationship at that point that you had with that person is probably severed at that point, or it'll never be the same, right? Because your ego won't allow for you to say, you know what, I'm sorry. Or you know what? I apologize, because your ego is telling you that accountability is wrong. Your ego tells you that accountability makes you soft or it doesn't make you the stand-up person that you need to be. But let's talk about what accountability is. Accountability is ownership and taking ownership for what it is that you do, taking ownership for the things that you say, because nobody can control that. No one has anything else to do with that but you. So you're the person that has to hold yourself accountable. So when I'm thinking about this particular business owner, right? I'm like, what lies did you tell yourself to convince you that you were still in the right here? What lie did you have to convince yourself to let you know that, you know what, this customer was not worth it. This 14 million TikTok following having customer was not worth it, and I don't care what he says. Like, what lie are you telling yourself? What are you convincing yourself? And again, a lot of times it's the ego. It's the ego. Our ego will block some blessings that literally you've been praying for months and months and months and months. And you let your ego get in the way, or it gets too big and it steps out in front of you, and it will literally block them like a brick wall. Like a brick wall. Like you're trying to go up for something, or you've been waiting on some things to happen. And you're just like, I'm doing all the right things, but you got this little situation over here. You got this little situation over here that's lingering. So yes, our ego is the quickest thing to block our blessings. Another thing that I was thinking about earlier today, and I wrote this down, how does your accountability affect other people? Because when we talk about accountability, we are talking about how we hold ourselves accountable, right? But what does your accountability do to others? You can think about, bad parenting, or if someone, even the crappiest parents, not holding themselves accountable for the way their kids are behaving, or I don't know why they do that. I don't know why she acts just like this. Well, she's looking right at you. I don't know why she think this about. I don't know why she act like this. I don't know why she talks like this. I don't know where she learned or where he learned how to cuss like this. Well, they had to have some type of example, right? Who do they hang around the most? Who raises them? Who sees them the most? You'll do. So accountability is a real hard thing, because now your lack of accountability is affecting some people that are coming up behind you. And even as I think about my journey toward just mentoring and speaking and being a therapist and really living out my full dreams, my accountability is tied to some other people's goals and dreams. My accountability is tied to whether somebody lives or dies. If you start to think about it like that, is your accountability tied to life or death? It's either going to be yours or maybe possibly somebody else's. Holding yourself accountable for something you know that you need to be doing, but that you're not doing because of whatever reason. You're telling yourself a lie, you done hung something up on the shelf, or whatever the case may be. It's not just affecting you, it's affecting somebody that's connected to you, or that's supposed to be connected to you, that can't get connected to you because you refuse to hold yourself accountable to do things that you know God put in you to do. So when you think about that, yeah, accountability turns into a life and death situation. Accountability literally it ties you to whether someone decides that they're going to wake up and go on another day because they need you. They needed you. They needed your presence. They needed you to talk to them. They needed you to even just say, hey, hello, how you doing? Right? But when we don't hold ourselves accountable for the things that we know we're supposed to do, we fail them. Not only do we fail ourselves, we fail them. So our accountability is not linked just to ourselves. Our accountability is linked to everybody else around us. Yeah, I'm just saying, Crystal. First of all, hey, Crystal girl. But yeah, those our children, they pick up our demeanor, they pick up our attitudes, they do that. And we have to hold ourselves accountable to say, you know what? Yeah, that's me. You know what? Yeah, I understand where that came from. And then you think, well, who do I have to hold myself accountable to? Because I am not about to be sitting up here. Because listen, some people got this whole idea like, I'm not about to be sitting up here spilling out my whole guts to everybody. This is not a confessional. I am not in Catholic church. I am not about to confess all my sins. And you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to at all. But you do have to get honest with yourself. You do have to stop lying to yourself. You do have to have that hard conversation with yourself. You do have to stand in the mirror and cry sometimes. You do have to say, you know what? I'm not doing what I said I was going to do. I'm not performing at the level that I want to perform at. Because honestly, in order for us to get to that level of performance, we have to be honest with ourselves. Did I give myself my all? Did I give this situation my all? Did I give myself my all? Did I pour my all into raising my children? Do I give them enough? Do I give them what they need? And this is not to be hard on yourself, but to just take accountability for the things that you have and have not done. I think once we start to take accountability for those things and for ourselves, man, our lives will start to literally change and turn around. So we are in the month of basically November. Okay. So Halloween's tomorrow. We are in the month of November, right? 2 months left in the year. Okay. So January 1st, everybody makes New Year's resolutions. Like, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to run a marathon. And you don't have to answer this in the comments, but just think to yourself, what did you promise yourself this year? Whether it was at your birthday or whatever monumental moment, what did you promise yourself that you would do this year? And did you keep your promise? Did you keep your promise to yourself? And if you did, kudos to you. If you did not, one, here's what I have to say. It's not the end of the year. You still have 2 months left. You still have time to hold yourself accountable. And then two, while you're holding yourself accountable, man, write down a plan, write the vision, make it plain, and go to work. I think a lot of times when we see our vision, we look at it like, man, this thing is huge. It's so big. I got so much to accomplish. How am I going to ever get there? Literally one day, one step, one task, one phone call, 1 hour, one session at a time. I think because we live in this instantaneous society, right? And we're like, okay, I want stuff to happen right now, right now, right now, right now. I don't have time to pour. Listen, whether you choose to do it or whether you choose not to do it, the time gonna pass anyway. That's the reality of it. The time gonna pass anyway. Life goes on, the world keeps spinning, people keep going, but when you remain still and you remain stagnant, that's when your growth stops. And then when you ignore it and you bury it and you hold yourself accountable for the things that you know you said you were going to do or the things you know that are destined for you to do, then you're like, oh, well, stuff don't ever work out for me. I don't know why stuff don't work out for me. Well, such and such didn't do this. And I said that I wanted to start this business and Mr. So-and-so was supposed to help me. But you know what? He was a crook and he took my money and he did this and he did that. Let me tell you something. When it comes to plans that don't work out, the world does not know this. But when I first got married, yes, microwave results, Crystal. When I first got married, I was in the process of writing a calendar. So I had the idea to have a daily calendar. And on this daily calendar, it'll be just like a different quote or a Bible verse or something. So I was in the process of creating this. Almost done. And for whatever reason, everybody knows my husband is like the IT guy. Everybody knows something wrong with your computer. You just go to Ro got your back. Okay. He has always been good at that. Okay. I praise my husband on his ability to rock with the computer and solve anything that I need that has anything technical going on. That's your guy. Well, in this, I don't remember what it was, if he was wiping a hard drive for me or he was doing something for me, switching out some work on a hard drive. I can't even remember what it was, but my husband took this, Sharonda told him, yes, I need to call him. My husband took my hard drive where I had this file saved with all of the calendar information on there. He did whatever he needed to do. And by the time I got it back, baby, I couldn't find that calendar. And that calendar was gone. Listen, me and Rashad were freshly married. Okay. So we weren't even, I don't think, 2 years in. And I'm like, if anybody knows me for real, I'm a perfectionist at heart. I'm working on it. It's definitely not a good thing to be a perfectionist, but I'm a perfectionist at heart. Listen, I work very, very hard. I'm a writer. I can write until my fingertips turn blue. Listen, I love to do it. And the fact is that the doggone calendar was almost finished and now it was gone. And it was no way for him to get it back. He had completely wiped this drive clean. Listen, y'all, I thought it was the end of my marriage. I went to my mom. I think I talked to my cousin at the time, and I was just like, like, we ain't gonna survive. This man don't like me for real. He deleted my work. Like, for real. Like, I'm sitting here laughing at this now, but back then it was not funny. Like, legit, I thought you could have just signed me up because me and Rashad was going to divorce court over that, baby. He straight up deleted my stuff. It was a really, really hard time. But I say all of this to say, you think you have a plan for something, and then you do have a plan for it. But then when those plans go haywire, then what? Then what? Because literally everything that I had worked for was completely gone. So when you, not only was I being tested because my work was gone, my marriage was tested at that time. See, we didn't have Jackson around. It was me and him. Okay. So our marriage was truly tested at that time because I had to figure out, like, damn, well, what is really more important? Is it this work? Is it the love that I share with my husband? But my husband just hurt me because he just erased my work. But Lord knows he didn't mean to do it on purpose. His intentions were all 100% good. Just mistakes happen. But when those things happen, right? Who does it fall back on? I can't sit there and blame him. I can't sit there and continuously say, oh, well, I didn't get this done because of you. Nah, that's not fair. That's not fair, especially when he apologized, especially when he was apologetic about the entire situation, right? Like, I could not sit there and blame him for that forever, right? He did make it up, he's like, I ain't gonna never touch his stuff again. You know what? I think at the time my mom ended up buying me a computer because I was like, I don't even want that man touching my computer. Give me an Apple so I can have something that he won't even touch. Rashad stopped touching my stuff for a long time after that. But I say all that to say, man, I had to keep going. And then I also had to change my mindset around the situation too. My mindset around this situation is this: one, all things happen for a reason. Okay. This was a test for you. This was a test for your career. This was a test for your marriage. Are you going to pass this test? Or are you going to sit up here and continuously blame him? Are you going to allow for the marriage to fail because of a mistake that somebody made? How many mistakes have you made that you've been forgiven for? Accountability. So I had to put myself back on the line and say, okay, Rashia, this thing happened. What you going to do? Somebody didn't show up the way you expected for them to show up. What are you going to do? So that's what I love about just the power of free will and the power of being able to say either yes or no and standing on that. Right? When you have that power to stand on your yes and let your yes be a yes and your no be your no be your no, accountability becomes a little bit easier because you're like, listen, no matter what, I still get to control whether I'm going to behave this way or I'm going to behave that way. Holding yourself accountable. When you do that, and also when you hold yourself accountable, when you really, really, really hold yourself accountable and say, listen, no matter what, I'm going to do X. I can promise you, and I will never promise you anything that I can't back up. I 1000% promise you, you're gonna start to see results in many different areas of your life. Many different areas of your life. So I love that about accountability. I love the fact that accountability, you have the choice whether you're going to let it hold you hostage or whether you are going to be the one to take control and say, you know what, I got this anyway. I'm going to show up anyway. I'm going to do what I need to do anyway. And then too, when it comes to dealing with people and friendships and relationships, I want to touch on that a little bit too. So accountability with people, that one is a very sensitive one because a lot of us, we have our different relationships with people, and you ever seen a friendship just go haywire? Listen, I'm the first one to raise my hand and say I've had to let friendships go. I've seen friendships around me just unravel just because. And honestly, friendships, family, I've seen it all unravel because someone won't lay that ego down just to say, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like the words and not even, even if you don't even want to say, I'm sorry, I apologize for making you feel this way. Or I apologize that this happened in this situation. Like for real, a genuine apology goes a long way. A genuine apology goes a long way. It doesn't make you look weak, and it doesn't even mean that you're wrong. But what it means is I'm willing to set my ego, there it goes. I'm willing to set my ego to the side because I value this relationship more than I do the conflict in this situation. I'm willing to say, okay, I wash my hands. I apologize. Let's move forward. Right? It's a lot more healthy to do that. Is it easy? No. Is it necessary? Yeah, for relationships you want to keep. Yeah, it's very much so necessary. Being able to hold yourself accountable in a situation. And honestly, I'll say this, it takes two to tango, right? It's not necessarily always going to be one-sided, like, oh, such and such did this person. No, it's probably a two-way street in some capacity. And the therapist part of me is saying that honestly, when you two are not seeing eye to eye, and especially if it looks like something that should have been so simple and you're not seeing eye to eye on it, 9 times out of 10, there's something else going on in that person's life that has nothing to do with you. And you just happen to catch the brunt of it. So when accountability comes up, they're just like, okay, I'm not gonna take accountability. You can though. You can jump in and be like, you know what? I want to squash this. I'm good on this. I don't want us to have this, this line between us. I want to squash this. Can we move forward? And by saying that, let me say this: that person has the right to say yes or no, and you can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. But what you're doing is you're doing the adult thing and you are holding yourself accountable in this particular situation. You got to hold yourself accountable in this situation. Where did I go wrong? What could I have done better in this situation? And honestly, a lot of times just having that conversation and talking and literally asking someone, what would you have expected in this situation, or what would you have liked for the outcome to be? So now, like I said, I'm talking about relationships with people, conflict with people. What did you expect to happen in this situation? That gives you literally a direct mirror to say, oh, okay, now you can see where that person's mindset is. Once you tap into that, you can understand it a little bit better, and then you can make the choice of, all right, this person is batshit crazy. I don't want them to be associated with them. Or you can say, I see where you're coming from. I love you. Let me clear this up. This is not what I meant. Okay. So accountability goes a long, long way, especially when it comes to relationships. Trust takes years to build up, but seconds to wash away. Trust can be severed in seconds by the words that we say. And that's another thing. We have to be conscious of the words that we say to people too, because you cannot just say whatever you want to say to people. You can't just jump on and just say, oh, well, blah, 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 right? You can't say whatever you want to say to people and then not hold yourself accountable for the words that you said because you said them. This is another reason, like when a practice that I use when I talk to people, I usually 9 times out of 10, I like to let people talk and completely finish what they're saying. Because one, I want to digest what it is that you're saying to me, and I want to make sure I understand what you're saying to me. So I usually let you talk, because I am truly listening to hear what you have to say. I'm very big on listening to your words because I want to hear you. I want to understand you. Again, that's probably the therapist in me, right? Like I naturally want to get to know more. But when you start to say different words, I'm like, those bells are going off. And even sometimes you guys, other people may do it too, but they respond differently. So when you hear different words that are being said or not being said, your inside's on fire and you like, what's this person talking about? Right? You are like really flaming. But you have to be careful on what you say to people. You got to be careful what you say to people. You cannot just word vomit on someone. You cannot just say anything to anyone and expect for them to be okay with it just because of the sake of a relationship or just because of the sake of, oh, I've been knowing this person 20 some years. And what? Wait, sidebar. Why we always think 20 years is like the ultimate time? Okay, I just saw somebody post something. It was like, that's 20 years ago. Do y'all realize 20 years ago was still the 2000s? I just want to say that. Anyway, but no, you can't just blurt out what you want to say to somebody and expect it to be okay all in the sake of I've been knowing you for a long time. And actually, if you have been knowing someone for a very long time, it actually should hold you a little bit more accountable than you would at any other time. And even if you think you offended someone, or if you think you said something that may disrupt the lines of communication or may be a disruptor in a friendship, say something. Don't be afraid to, again, hold yourself accountable and speak up. I had a conversation with a friend via text message, but we were doing the voice messages back and forth, and she shared something with me and I said something back. And then after I thought about it, I'm like, one, she didn't respond to what I said. And then she talked about something else. And I was just like, maybe what I said offended her and I didn't realize it. That wasn't my intent. So let me kind of double back and say something. And I did. So I doubled back and I said, hey, such and such, here's what I meant by my comment. I really hope that you didn't take it offensively. And if you did, I sincerely apologize because that's not what I meant to do. Here is where my heart was. This is what I meant. So when you really clear it up from the go, you jump in front of the drama, you jump in front of the feelings, you give that person the opportunity to say, okay. So now, because again, you've held yourself accountable in the situation, you're the stand-up person at the end. And then you can sleep better at night because you definitely did speak your piece. So when situations bother you, you can't sleep at night, you up, you tossing and you turning. One, it could just be the drama for the situation, but two, it's bugging you because you're like, dang, what could I have done in this situation to make it better? Is there another way that I could have held myself accountable? And usually when you do take yourself and hold yourself accountable for it, right then and there, you feel a whole lot better. You do. You feel a whole lot better. So, it brings me back to Mr. Keith Lee and drama and the whole saga. Man, had that restaurateur took accountability and said, you know what, Keith? You caught us on a bad day. We had X amount going on, and I wish you would, come back, try my restaurant again. Or even said, you know what, customers, we hear your complaints. We see that you guys stand behind Keith Lee. We see where we dropped the ball. Let us get the opportunity to make it better. Humility, man, it goes so far. Accountability and humility together. That's a recipe for success. But if you add ego, that piece of ego anywhere in where accountability should be, it's always going to fail each and every time. Ego has to sit down in order for accountability to take place and humility to rise up. It has to be. It has to be. And again, even if you can't be honest with nobody else, you got to keep it real with you. You have to be accountable for you. You got to keep it real with you. I was going to say, my watch is going off. I'm getting blew up right now. But yeah, you have to stay accountable for you. For sure. For sure. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. Accountability really, really sat on my heart. It really, really sat on my spirit. I really wanted to bring accountability to the forefront. One, like I said, it's going down here in Atlanta with Keith Lee and these doggone restaurants. And not to mention, it happened at more than one restaurant. I'm laughing because it's just unbelievable at how customer service has really gone out the window. But that is neither here nor there. But yeah, it's accountability. But I do want to end by saying this, guys. We still have 2 months left in the year. We still have 2 months left. So whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you want to release, whatever it is that you want to happen in 2024, I'm going to need you to settle that in 2023, plant the seeds in 2023, make the phone call, mend the friendship. And even if you can't mend the friendship, state your peace. Listen, because we all too old to be walking around here having beef with people, right? State your peace. Make it plain. Put your listen, it's okay. Let people know how you feel and then keep it moving without cussing people out. Listen, we keeping it all peaceful, right? So again, you still have 2 months left in the year. You still have time to achieve your goals. You still have time to even plant the seeds. If your goal was super, super, super huge and you knew that, man, I needed all year to plan for this goal. If your plan was to run a marathon, that's okay. You got to train for that. But guess what? It's 8:39 where I am right now. You can definitely have time to go to bed, get up early in the morning, start your training in the morning, because 2024, you come in for that marathon, right? So it's simple, literally one day at a time. One task at a time. Don't put too much on yourself. Just one day, one step, one phone call, one assignment, one task, literally at a time. When you start putting them together consistently, that's when you create the atmosphere for a huge blow for success. So that's what I got for y'all today. That's my Mindset Monday. Man, I want you to be accountable this week, the rest of tonight. Listen, because the day isn't over with either. We all have 24 hours. What are you going to do with it? So you still have time left in the day. You still have time left this week. You still have time left this year. But one thing I will tell you, when you continue to hold that accountability in one place, time is going to continue to pass. Time will not stop because your accountability stops. Time will not stop because you said that, all right, I'm going to put this to the side for a while. That's okay. Even if you do that, time is going to continue to go by. And what you choose to do with that time is strictly up to you. It has nothing to do with what anybody else said they was going to do. What you said, nope, what they said and they didn't do, it doesn't matter. You're welcome, Crystal. It doesn't matter. It's just you. Just you. Guys, if you do not know already, I have a gratitude journal. So one thing I do believe in the power of saying thank you. I didn't understand this when I was younger, but my mother always taught for me to say thank you to people. She always had us write thank you notes and things like that. But I understand the power of saying thank you. It goes far beyond, recognition for someone. When you have gratitude and when you say thank you, and when you can just say thank you to someone for something that they did, when you can say thank you to the Lord for opening your eyes, when you can just say thank you for just the smallest things, it literally opens the door for you to have more reasons to say thank you. Listen, when you express gratitude, it gives you an opportunity to have more reasons to express gratitude. It's beautiful. So what I have created is a 90-day tool to help you go through expressing gratitude on a daily basis. It helps you list the things that you are thankful for. It teaches you about what gratitude is, how to use the workbook. I have those on my website right now, and they're only $20, $25. But yeah, we eat that literally. Like when you go through the drive-through and you thought you was only getting a 4 for $4, you just spent $25, $28. I don't know whose total that was tonight, but you spent $25. That's how much it costs to get yourself together for gratitude. So if you are interested in getting a gratitude journal, please visit my website because they are on there and ready to go. Not only do I have a gratitude journal for women, I also have a gratitude journal for teens as well. So on that gratitude journal, it's actually for teen girls. It's the Gratitude gratitude for me, our babies can go ahead and they can practice the art of gratitude as well. So one of the things that I absolutely believe in is your kids are not in this alone. I tell parents this when they come to, when they send their kids to my mentoring program, when they ask about my mentoring program, this is something that you join in with them together. It is not one of those situations where you just put your kid in the program and then you drop them off and go. No, this is a very much so united situation. And you do that with your children so they don't feel that isolation, so they don't feel like they are just the problem. Again, a lot of the things that I've seen with my teen girls, they are behaviors that have been picked up from the people around them, but they just they are expressed differently. They may look differently, and they may not be something that you recognize, and it's because you're not holding yourself accountable. But it's very important for you to work with your kids. So this is why I created the gratitude journal for women and also for teen girls, because it's a great opportunity to get your kids together or get your babies together with you to say, all right, let's pull out your gratitude journal. What are we grateful for today? How are we opening up a door for more gratitude today? How are we opening up our door for blessings to flow through today? Right? Sit down, use the gratitude journals, really write in them every single day. I use them. I know my mom told me she uses them, but really use the gratitude journal as that tool to help push you to the next level, to have more reasons for gratitude. So I have listed the link in the comment section, guys. So with the link in the comment section, it'll take you directly to the store. Also in the store, you are going to see a couple of master classes that I have going on that are starting in January. I'm really excited. So my first master class is called the Foundations course, and that is for my younger generation. So for my people who are between the ages of 18 and 25. I told you guys I had a video on TikTok that went absolutely crazy because I was speaking to that audience and they kept asking me, well, how do I get my life on track? How do I fix my credit? How do I know that this person is really my friend? How do I do this? How do I do that? What you mean? What's a bank account? What's the best credit card to get? How do I get my first apartment? So I put together a master class for people with these questions, and it is called my Foundations course. So that will be starting in January. So if you are between the ages of 18 to 25 and you are interested in learning just those foundational things that you need to know about life that are essential, that somebody didn't teach you, or the things that they don't teach you in school about having a checking and a banking account and about credit and how to build your credit. You don't have to be broke at 18. You don't have to have bad credit at 18. You don't have to at all. But I teach you the skills to do that. So that's what's going on in my Foundations course. The other thing that you will see on the website is called the Master Class. So Master Class is really geared, it can be geared for any woman, but this one is really, really geared toward my women who are ready to heal. A lot of times, the things that we are suffering and we're going through, these things are for our inner child that still needs to be healed. You know how many times I've had to look in the mirror and talk to 7-year-old Rashia? Okay. I literally have had to do that. In this masterclass, that's what I will be doing. We will be talking to that inner child who hurt her, because that inner child, she's a lot more powerful than you think she is. So a lot of times we think, I'm grown. That stuff don't bother me. That happened to me when I was 10. Oh, baby. Our children are very impressionable. At 10 years old, you are very impressionable. Those things, those events that happen, they settle in on your heart and they make those little dents in your heart, and they start speaking to your self-esteem and your subconscious, and then they start to alter the things that you do. So even from the decisions that you make, the people that you date, again, it is all tied to that self-esteem. That self-esteem is deeply rooted to that inner child who does need to be healed, who needs to be hugged, who needs to be talked to, who needs to be cradled, who needs to know that it's okay. You're safe now. You're safe now. And even if you aren't safe, that's okay. We can get you to a safe place because you are capable of doing that. You are capable of moving. You are capable of making the decisions that make you happy. You're capable of that now. You're safe to do that now. So this is what we'll be talking about in the masterclass. Masterclass will, like I said, take place. That's starting in January too. I am only taking a select few people into the masterclass because I need for it to be custom. I need for it to be special. It is a life-altering class. Again, I'm cutting it off at a certain number. I am not taking many people into that class. I want this to be a life altering experience for you that you can really grow from. Okay, so that is what I have for you guys tonight. Again, we have the two gratitude journals that are there for you. We have the master classes that are there for you. And then you got Mindset Monday every Monday. I told y'all I was gone for 2 weeks because COVID tried to tap me on the shoulder. Okay, but I am out of there. Out of there. All right. So, with that being said, guys, I love you so much for watching. I know I just saw one of my YouTube friends. She just popped in. Like, she's like, I made it on time. David, you got to watch the replay. I'm almost done. Yeah. Masterclasses is for all ages as well. So, you don't have to be over 25 to get into that masterclass. Masterclass, you can still do it if you are between the ages of 18 to 25. Absolutely, you can. 1000% you can. I actually recommend masterclass for people who are younger as well, because the sooner you get in and the sooner that you really start to hug on that little girl in you and really heal that girl in you, the more powerful of a woman you become. Listen, and the sooner you do it, the better. The sooner you do it, the better. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm so excited for that. So thank you for asking that question. I love you too, Mom. But yeah, so guys, I'm going to let you go. This was tonight's Mindset Monday. I'm so happy that you came to join me. I'm so happy that you're sitting here with me, guys. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to inbox me or message me. I am also dropping my email. That is my email address as well. It's just hello@richieandnicole.com. So please feel free to message me. Let me know on any of the platforms. If it's a topic that you want to hear about, something that you got a question about, please let me know. I love to go ahead and answer your questions and help you out. But until next Monday, I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I hope you take the accountability that you need for yourselves. I am loving you and I am rooting for you. And I can't wait to talk to you soon. Bye.